Welcome to r/slash Topposts, where OP has a coworker from hell. Our next Reddit post is from @LifeReview. I've been working in this office for about a year now. It's a small office with about 10 total employees, each with their own specialized desk work. So my desk work is different from the person next to me, but we're cross-trained to be able to help each other. The woman next to me, Susan, is very much a wear your heart on your sleeve type of person. She likes to tell you about all of her issues, all her personal struggles, and keep you updated on her life. These updates come very randomly, unwarranted, and tend to throw off my whole game. For example, I'll be in the zone doing my work with a headphone in and listening to a podcast or something. Suddenly you'll hear, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I dyed my son's hair." And I'm like, okay, cool. She's even told me about her personal issues, such as an anal fissure she had, or her 16-year-old son's medical issue that pertains to his private parts. I gotta stop you here. I'm going to tell you guys what an anal fissure is. I've never had one, luckily. I don't know of anyone who's had one, but I've heard about them online. It is when a hole appears in your body that connects to your bowels. So you effectively have two buttholes, your normal butthole, and then this fissure, which is the butthole that's not supposed to be there. Obviously, it's a major medical problem because you're leaking poo through an open wound. It's not exactly the appropriate conversation for a office job, or really a conversation you want to have with any human being except your surgeon or doctor. Okay, anyways, I filed a complaint about this because it felt extremely weird and uncomfortable. Well, apparently her emotions are also a major issue she's had trouble with. A slight inconvenience can leave her bawling. If someone hands her more work to do, she'll cry. If you correct her, she'll cry. One time, she wrote an error letter to a customer, and instead of stating the customer owed $20, she wrote it as $20, and management told her to correct it. She cried for hours. And I don't mean just a few tears. I mean a full tantrum. Huffing, puffing, slamming stuff on her desk. Something like this happens multiple times a week. Here's the problem. I've let my manager know that it makes me really uncomfortable when she does this, and I'd like for something to be addressed. My entire day, as well as my coworkers, is upended when Susan does this. We're all walking on eggshells, trying not to make eye contact like she's a toddler who you're avoiding. Management told me that I should show some compassion. Unfortunately, I'm fresh out. Susan sits directly next to me, and on the other side of her is a wall, so I'm the only person who's directly affected by her tantrums. My manager sits next to me on the other side, so I'm kinda just the middleman. Management sees her crying all the time, but won't do anything about it other than avoid it. I've gone to HR, and I've seen that management and HR have a meeting, but nothing after that. I understand that sometimes life is hard, and you can't help but break. I get it. But to cry at your desk multiple times a week is extremely excessive. And honestly, I don't know how she's not dehydrated. She won't walk away while she's crying. She makes an odd point to stay at her desk and continue to answer customer phone calls and work while she's crying. I guess I just need some idea if I'm being a jerk by thinking this is weird and unprofessional. I hate public emotion already, so I can't tell if I'm being heartless or if she's really crossing a line. OP, I appreciate the length of this post. This is an interesting story. Your coworker seems very crazy and problematic. But honestly, this could have been one sentence. My coworker talks to me about her anal fissures. Am I overreacting by being uncomfortable? The rest of it is just extra evidence on top of that further proves your point. But the second anyone talks to me about their anal fissures, that's the end of any sort of sympathy or compassion or respect for you as a human being. I don't want to hear about that, okay? I don't want to hear about your normal buttholes. I don't want to hear about your temporary buttholes. Keep your buttholes out of my business. OP, I would say that if your manager thinks that Susan isn't a problem, then why don't you suggest that you switch seats with him? Because if he doesn't mind her, then he can sit next to her and he can deal with her anal fissure conversations and temper tantrums. Our next Reddit post is from Consistent Olive.
In 2018, when I was 19 years old, a stranger messaged me to say that she found photos of me on an adult website that shares non-consensual images of women, organized by demographic regions. The photos were of me changing in the staff bathroom at work. They were posted with my full name, hometown, and even a picture from my private Instagram, making it easy to identify me. Only a few coworkers followed me there. One coworker had a habit of leaving his backpack in the staff bathroom. After his shift in the kitchen, he'd go upstairs to the bar for a drink and then leave his bag behind in the bathroom. I reported everything to the police and told my boss right away. That same night, I worked my shift and told 3 coworkers I trusted, one of whom was my manager, who I found had photos of herself on the website too, so I had to let her know. A few days later, I was scolded by a manager for ruining the investigation by talking about it. Because only a few people had access to my private Instagram, my coworkers who did were brought in for police interviews. The guy who left his backpack in the bathroom moved several hours away just days after getting notice. He never showed up for his interview with the police. I later learned that a similar situation happened at another restaurant that he worked at in town. But because the previous victim didn't come forward, my case wasn't enough to compel a police interview. I wanted to make this public, hoping that other women he may have victimized would come forward if they saw that I did. My employer drafted a statement for the newspaper, but delayed releasing it for weeks. I had to beg for it to go out. When I made a personal Facebook post to warn others and encourage other victims to come forward, my boss berated me for trying to ruin his business. I never named the business in my post. The culprit was never charged. If that stranger hadn't told me, I'd still have no idea those photos existed.
Our next Reddit post is from Choice Writer. Am I overreacting for asking my boyfriend to stop calling my C-section the easy way out? I'm a 25-year-old woman, and I gave birth to our son 6 months ago via emergency C-section. It was not part of the plan. Things got complicated and it was scary, but we're both okay now. Lately, my boyfriend, who's 28, has made multiple comments about how I didn't really give birth, or I took the easy way out. He always says it like a joke, but the more he says it, the more it stings. He once even said it in front of his sister, who thankfully shut him down. I tried to talk to him about it, and he just laughs and says I'm too sensitive. It's not a real insult, babe. I just mean you didn't have to push. I've explained that it was traumatic, it required surgery, and I'm still recovering from it. But he keeps making the same stupid comment. I finally told him it really bothers me, and if he can't stop, I'm not gonna just laugh it off anymore. He got annoyed and said I'm making a big deal out of nothing. I'm feeling like I overreacted, but I also feel so disrespected. Am I being too emotional? Is it really just a joke? It's super rude, and more importantly, not funny in the slightest. Where's the joke supposed to be? It's not a real birth. Okay, ha 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 ha, I guess? Where's the punchline? That she got her abdomen sliced open and her uterus cut open and then had to be sewed back together? What? This behavior's kind of weird. I'm guessing he has some weird hang-up in his head of how things are supposed to go, and because it didn't go that way, he's upset and he's taking it out on OP. Also, let's remember, there's no easy way out when it comes to birth. People still die from childbirth in 2025. It's a big deal. Our next Reddit post is from r/marriage. Wife said to husband, "I'll just bang someone else." I was laying in bed with my wife Friday night. We were cuddling, and she wanted to be intimate and make love that evening. We were watching the Olympics and talking. I didn't brush my teeth or clean up for bed yet. She said that my breath smelled and got enraged. During her rage, she said, "You don't want to smell nice for me. I'll just bang someone else." We had been intimate a few nights earlier, and she mentioned that I wasn't looking as sexy and I need to work on my appearance, otherwise she's going to go and find it elsewhere. But nothing as explicit as, "I'll just bang someone else." Then, later that evening, she texted me before she went to sleep and said, "I hope you find a partner to be with that you're excited for and care to look good and clean for. Clearly not me. That's my goal. That's the partner I'll be looking for going forward." We have 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I am 100% determined to get a divorce after hearing that. She was very apologetic after I threatened divorce. crying, sobbing, apologizing for what she said. Said she just wanted to threaten me. Curious what y'all think. Then OP posts the actual conversation between him and his wife through text. Are you kidding? I would never and have never thought of it. I said that it was a threat because I want you to want me. For months, I'm telling you to put an effort into being intimate with me. I'm telling you that I'm needing something from you, to be wanted and to feel special in intimacy, and you keep ignoring me. It was the wrong thing to say. I deserve someone so excited to be sleeping with me that they look their best before getting into bed. I shave, I brush my teeth, I moisturize, I put on nice underwear, I put effort in. I was simply asking for the same. You'll get your chance. Won't be me. It used to be you. It hasn't been for years now since having kids, and that's precisely the problem. The way you think of me has changed, and instead of working on our relationship and making changes, you're complacent. So that's the real issue, not me being angry and reacting to your actions. But for you to say that I'm honestly considering cheating on you is absolutely disgusting. I didn't say anything about cheating. You did. I'm sorry, I didn't mean what I said. It was said in anger. I love you always and forever, no matter what you do. Please talk to me. I love you with all my heart, and what I said pains me. It makes me sad that you want to leave me after one mean thing I said that I obviously didn't mean, when you've said horrible things to me over and over again, and I've forgiven. Do what you have to do. I ask you every day, make me feel wanted, make me feel beautiful, and you continue to do the literal opposite. You don't care about how I'm feeling. How else should I feel? I've said this over and over again. It's the ultimate disrespect. So I apologize for what I said. I didn't mean it, but not for telling you how I feel that you're not putting enough effort into me. Clearly, you're not willing to. Regardless, I feel absolutely terrible about what I said. It should have never been said. I would be heartbroken if you said that to me, and I know that you wouldn't. This marriage honestly seems doomed. OP is checked out, doesn't seem to care about her feelings, and doesn't seem to care about being intimate with her either. And she obviously has a lot of resentment that's manifesting as seemingly daydreaming about cheating, even though she says that's not the case. That's honestly what it sounds like. Our next Reddit post is from r/TrueOffMyChest. My ex-husband returned my dogs to the shelter and one was euthanized. I fought so much for those dogs, and in the end, he won our dogs in the divorce. He had the dogs before our marriage. My ex-husband and I were only married for 2 years. I was completely shocked when I saw on Facebook that one of my dogs was euthanized at a shelter. Gracie was my favorite dog. She was only 6 years old, and the shelter killed her. She was the sweetest dog I ever met. She loved everyone and everything. My other dog, Shank, was on an adoption page I saw in a local Facebook group that I follow. I immediately called the shelter and said I wanted to adopt him and that he was my old dog. I explained the situation. They told me they're sorry, but that was posted more than a week ago and he's already been adopted. My heart is so broken. I called my ex-husband and his explanation was that he didn't have time to take care of the dogs anymore and that they would be in a better home in a more active environment since the dogs barely go outside when the dogs were living with him. He probably had those dogs for a few months after our divorce and then he just put them in a shelter. I said he should have just given the dogs to me. I loved them. He didn't want to give them to me because he wanted me to suffer. He didn't want me to be happy. He knew how much I loved those dogs, and to make my life miserable, he'd rather have his own dogs euthanized than for me to have them, because he knew how much those dogs meant to me. He did say that he didn't think Gracie would get euthanized. He had to see the post to believe it. I showed it all to him. He claims he didn't know that it was a kill shelter and that she thought that she would have gotten adopted easily because she's sweet. But the thing is, she looks like a pit bull. I don't know her exact breed. The shelter he originally got her from labeled her as a hound mix. But she does look like a pit bull, so there's negative stereotypes about pit bulls. And then she's 6 years old, and dogs don't get adopted at an older age, so obviously this was going to happen. I didn't worry too much about Shank since he's a lab. I just hope he truly is in a good home. The whole thing is just so terrible. I keep having dreams about my dogs. I miss them so much.
I can kinda understand hating someone so much that you want to see them suffer, but why make innocent dogs suffer as part of your revenge? The human desire for vengeance is understandable, but dog torture isn't. This guy is actually a scumbag. Down in the comments, we have this story from Social Turnip. My ex-husband used to do this to me every single time we fought. I'd have to go to the shelter, explain everything, pay the fee, and then take them home again. It happened so frequently, the shelter started calling me as soon as he dropped them off. I'm so sorry this happened to you, OP. Some people are so evil, and your baby didn't deserve to be treated as an object to punish you with. I hope you're able to heal from this.
That was r/Topposts from Reddit, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.